Good evening, y'all. Welcome to the Dream Chasers podcast show, y'all. Look, I got a special guest, y'all. Listen. Hey, and y'all already know how we do it on the Dream Chasers podcast show. We don't introduce nobody because how I feel, ain't nobody can introduce me like me. So go ahead on and introduce yourself, my brother.
All right, what's happening, everybody? My name is Herb Poochie Green. I'm from the north side of Lafayette, namely Macomb. But Lafayette is my home, so I consider myself to be from wherever you from. On the north side, uh, it's all love, and I'm just here to have a discussion and get us motivated.
What's the name of the drum that you teach?
Oh, I teach djembe drumming.
Okay, and you once told me something that we was just talking about.
Uh-huh.
And I try to use that with my life more and more and more every day. What's the first thing a kid have to learn before they even play the drum?
Oh man, he has to learn the intricate details, about the drum, how it's made and where it comes from, the meaning of it, from the lumberjack who chops down the tree. We gotta love him because he represents life. We gotta love the tree because it is life. We gotta love the animal, the hunter, who we also have to love. We gotta love that hunter because he killed the animal to feed his family, but he
Uh-huh.
also preserved different parts of the animal to make the drum. So that animal skin on top of that drum, that represents life. We gotta love the skilled worker who carved all the art that is on the drum and whatnot. And we definitely gotta love the djembe folo, who is the drum player. And we have to learn all of those things, because the center point of it all is life. And my kids, when they come into the program, they got to know what the djembe is, because that's the first place they start.
Uh-huh.
The man started in Africa,
Yeah.
and so did the rhythm. So did drumming. It started in Africa as a way of communication. And we're not communicating life right now. So when those kids come in there, they understand that you are, every beat uh, that you play, it represents a stroke of life, because
Uh-huh.
that skin is giving off a sound from that wood, which is the drum. The wood makes the drum, but the skin gives it the sound. And it's just like us. We we encased in bone and all kinds of organs, but what keeps God in His infinite wisdom, He created the skin that it'll sweat, but you can't put nothing in it. You know what I'm saying? You can't put nothing in it. Though it enters through things that the evils of the world that we hear about. It never comes through our system, through the skin, because the skin serves as protection. It comes through our ears and through our eyes, what we
Uh-huh.
hear and what we see. And a lot of us are deceived, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Because people then put things in our heads about people. And when we open our eyes, we don't see them. We see what those people want us to see. So that's why it's important to keep negativity, away from you. You know what I'm saying? And just think about that drum, and the positive rhythms that come from that, and people would get that, when we go to the clubs and we hear music, you're not dancing to that guitar riff or those keyboards and whatnot. You dancing to that drum beat. So, if you want people to follow you and you want to make a positive impact on their lives, then you have to have a positive beat, man. And you got that. You know what I'm saying? You have a positive rhythm flowing from you, man, and people are gravitating towards that, and that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, I wrote the post this morning because, I'm on social media
Uh-huh.
and whatnot. And like anybody else, man, I'm going through, through life, and whatnot. And we don't spend enough time, giving each other our flowers while we're here. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I was like, bro, I don't want that man to go out, you know what I'm saying, and me not tell him that I love him and I appreciate what he's doing for our people. You know what I'm saying? And that's to bring us together, and a
You,
lot of times uh we are separated uh just because some people feel that, man, he shouldn't be doing that. Who he think he is? Well, my answer to that is, who are you? You ain't doing shit. Excuse
yeah.
my expression,
Well,
but
hey, look, it's the
you,
truth. You good. You
you
good.
know,
You good.
but if the person that's making the effort and quiet, he ain't bragging on himself, he ain't patting himself on the back. You know what I'm saying? But he got people that's believing in him or trusting in his ability. They feel safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, hey
Yeah.
man, we can go to that. We can go chill over here and whatnot, and we know that it's gonna be safe. Not be it's be it's because of who is there. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying?
Uh-huh.
And it's important, to be mindful of the words that we, speak to people. And I always hear you speaking about peace, man. Getting along, and speaking
Yeah.
about your own personal tragedies in your family and whatnot, man. And but and people that go through that, they can choose to, be introverted and not want to deal with nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think that you took that, man. The losses of your relatives and loved ones took that, and you turned that into a positive energy with a message, man. That, man, it doesn't matter if you disagree over here. You don't have to do the things that you're doing, in a
No.
way of taking because we taking us out,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. And mhm,
I say this all the time. It's more mental. You know
mhm,
what I'm saying? Like, and I know that's one of your specialties.
mhm,
It's more mental. We was told that we couldn't drink from a certain water fountain,
mhm.
but my great 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 grandmother breast milk was good to feed their children.
Yes, and
So it's mental.
yeah,
You
yeah,
see, you
yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
My great 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 grandmother was good enough
Uh-huh.
to show your child how to tie their shoes,
Mhm.
but her children wasn't good enough to drink from the same water fountain.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not a black and white person. I'm not. I don't see color, but I gotta go back to that Willie Lynch letter where
Uh-huh.
how to create a slave and everything, and we got to get away from that. We got to
Uh-huh.
X out that Willie Lynch letter, and we got to start loving on each other and respecting each other.
Yeah.
You said that in the post that we don't. Hey, look, my wife saying,
Hey,
hey,
hey, what's happening?
hey. We don't. You said that in the post that we don't always agree, but we know how to agree to disagree because
Exactly.
we got that same end goal.
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
and I love and respect your space enough not to disrespect you.
Hmm.
You know
And
what I'm
and 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 it, and it, and it, and it's this, um, it's not that we on different sides because
no,
we're not,
definitely.
but the demographically, we deal with two different types of people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I chose to revert to uh those that are in the beginning. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even those who may be transitioning from the middle to the advanced stages. You
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying? And meaning, well, I like dealing with those that between the ages of 4 years old and 17.
Uh-huh.
And then you are more apt to deal with those that are 18 and beyond.
Yeah, yeah.
The young adult,
I agree.
and so our messages are different. And
Uh-huh.
see what the devil will try to do is try to throw shade in there. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Definitely.
The devil will try to throw shade in there and say, "Man, Chris against you, man," because
Uh,
he. But Chris, and my response is, "Bruh, Chris is dealing with a whole different type of people." You
definitely.
know what I'm saying? And Chris is dealing with a people that I would rather not deal with because the message is harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's harder for the message to get through to those.
Yeah.
And the ones that I deal with, uh all I have to say is this: man, if you can, when I speak to them, I say, man, if you can sit in my classroom and learn all of these drum parts, you know what I'm saying, and get it and get out there and give a professional show, then I know you can sit in the classroom and behave
Yeah.
and be disciplined to
Uh-huh.
learn what you need to learn in that particular arena. You know what I'm saying? Because that time is only short lived. That's only 12 years of your life, or at the most 16 years of your life. That's high school and obtaining a 4-year degree. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And even if you don't want to do that, you know what I'm saying, you still need to spend time learning how to do something. So when you do become that 18 to and above, you can go out there, get the job, and provide for yourself, or begin to do those things. And so the message for you, man, is more of gaining them in a way to where they come back to the center, and do what's necessary.
Yeah.
I'm hitting them before they get to the center.
Yeah. So
You know.
so I my message is mainly for them to go home and
Hmm.
spread it to their children
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
because it starts at home. It starts how I was in my 20s and some of my 30s. How I was, my mama ain't raised me like that.
Hmm.
My mama
Hmm.
raised me how I act now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, definitely 100%. So so basically, I'm saying, well, man, how can I do this? See, because this the thing. This the thing. If I sit down right here and say I had a perfect life or got a perfect life, nah. But this is the thing. When you uphold the things that your children are doing, that's when it come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you call me and you tell me you need help with your child,
Hmm.
first thing I'm doing, I'm going to your child Facebook page
Hmm.
because I want to see what you've been okaying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, love my children to death. I love them. I love them. I'm not. If you flashing guns and all that on social media, I'm not finna be your Facebook friend.
Right. You
Look,
know,
look
and
okay, you past 18. I can't tell you what to do, but nah, you ain't. Nah, no, nah.
you,
We ain't gonna do that.
you can't do that here.
No, no, no.
Oh,
I-
look, my father, man, God rest his soul, been, gone since 2007, was the most influential man in my life, but he worked 2 jobs every day, 4 o'clock in the morning, up, heading to the first job, get off, about 2 o'clock that afternoon, 3 o'clock, he heading to the second job. He did that
Man,
all my life, Chris. You know what I'm saying?
man,
So, it was important, um, for me to first not let him down, or at least not attempt to let him down. But I was mischievous, you know what I'm saying?
What
And
question? So not to interrupt you, but I have to. Quick question.
uh-huh.
So you was raised with your father in the house.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. I wasn't raised with my father in the house. How
Mhm.
important is it was it for you to be raised with your father in the house?
Oh man, it was extremely important, for me to have my dad be there, you know, and I even, now I look back and I appreciate the butt whippings. I
Yeah,
you know and but even more so, I profoundly appreciate the talks, the warnings, about, boy, I'm telling you, if you hang around with a crowd, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
or if you don't apply yourself to do something, your life ain't gonna amount to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And just those little subtle things that he would say, and those things, today, what I'm saying, I use with my student. I don't have kids of my own, but the kids in my studio, are like my, I take them
yeah.
all
It's your
like
kid.
like
Yeah,
like my own, so when it's time to impart that fatherly, or that big brother uh wisdom, I go to that, man. I go to those things that he talked about with me, man, and I impart that to them. It's like, man, if you don't, I'm a living witness that if you don't apply yourself to do something, your life won't. You're just gonna be sitting idle, or you're gonna be dependent on other people to provide for your, for your needs and stuff.
so I'm pretty sure that I can speak for every kid, and you can also let me know if I told the truth or not.
Hmm.
To every father that's watching or that's gonna watch, or to every mother that's watching, that kid needs his father. If that father is a role model, that kid needs his father.
Hmm.
And there is no handbook on being a father.
Hmm.
That comes from trial and error.
That is an absolute truth. Every child needs his father, especially young boys and young girls,
Uh-huh.
because first, for the young girl, that young girl wants to is gonna marry somebody that that mimics her dad, the protector, the provider, the problem solver, and everything. And for that young man, that the father serves as the model for what that young man is going to be. Now, it can be good or bad, because we have fathers that are present in their child's lives, you know what I'm saying, that do things that they shouldn't do with a young mind, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah,
with a mind that hasn't been groomed and cultivated for adulthood. When that if that negative father is there, you know what I'm saying, could be abusive, he could be a womanizer, you know what I'm saying, anything negative, that child is going, hey, that child is going to mimic what his father does.
yeah.
So it's important for that man, to get there and be a man. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
agree. I
and
agree.
try to, try to shield his child, away from the negatives as much as he can. See, because, like with my father, I didn't have time for negativity. You know, he number one, he didn't tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? His example, he served in the army and the navy,
Uh-huh.
and
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. His yeah was his yeah, and his no was his no.
oh yeah, most definitely. So I'm talking about, man, this dude would go through a house, Chris. You know what I'm saying, and clean up his house, and you swear to God, about 4 or 5 people was in that house cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? The way he cleaned up, and then that's the way that he wanted it. You know, and any one of my brothers and sisters could tell you, if things was out of order, you know what I'm saying? Oh, bro, the trash can was his favorite spot because it was going there. And what that did, man, it instilled a sort of discipline, to be on your P's and Q's, and to pay attention to what's happening in real time, around you, to be, you know, to go out there and provide for yourself, and get the things that you need, in order for you to do that. And so any father out there that that has children that he doesn't uh he's not, fully present in their lives, that's something that you need to work on, man. Put the differences you have with that woman aside, and to the women, he might be a crappy dude to you, you know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that he's gonna be crappy to his kids. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
like sometimes, we may not realize it, man, but a lot of times a man will change because of his kids. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And but the bickering that goes on, and the back and forth, and whatnot, you got to set that aside, because it goes both ways.
I
We
agree.
you knew they was crappy before them 10 minutes you talked to them in the club.
Yeah.
You knew they were
Yeah,
crappy back
yeah,
then,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
you did it. You know what I'm saying? You did it, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Because nothing happens in our lives except God allow it, man. So He allowed you and that girl to get together, or you and that dude to get together, and y'all created. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Y'all created. So the child is here. You know what I'm saying? Child and next to be here. You know what I'm
No,
saying? The
no,
child
no.
next to be here. So it's important for you to do what's necessary, for that child to have what it needs in order for him or her to be successful.
Okay, now, so I know you've been here on this earth longer than me. So you're a little more seasoned than me.
Huh?
And this a good question because I know it's gonna help a lot of people. Man, how did y'all make it with way more less
Hmm.
than we have today?
Well, Chris, that's easy, man. At the time, uh, the the economy was different. The attitude of people with money was different. Uh,
Whoo!
and I I remember one year my dad, screamed, man, I made $10,000 last year, and I was on one job back then. You know what I'm saying? And $10,000 was a
That
lot
was
of
a lot of
money.
money. You was
You
rich,
know,
man.
that was a lot of money. But we thought we was rich. Me and my sisters and brothers thought we was rich because they were able to afford a home, and him and my mother each had a car. You know what I'm saying? And we were 6 kids. You know what I'm saying? That and I know that there are families that had more, and but in that time, uh, I think my mom, she shopped smart, and she didn't waste away the money frivolously. She wasn't at the club every weekend while my daddy was working. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? She took care of the home. She was the manager. She managed the home. She managed the money. Made sure the bills was paid. We had groceries in the house. when there was a need for for clothing and whatnot, that need was met. And my mother worked also. You know what I'm saying? But that those high dollar items and whatnot, man, that wasn't happening. I remember I wanted a pair. I'm 60, so I wanted a pair of Chuck Taylor All
Acme,
Star.
Acme Liquid, that's $25 at Duke, man.
No, no, no. Well, see, they had Bell Sporting Goods
Okay, okay, okay.
on Jefferson.
All right,
So
all right,
the canvas Chuck Taylors, low quarter and high top, I think was $12.95 at the time.
all right, all right, all right.
That was big money.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That was like a pair of leather Jordans to us at the
yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah,
And I,
yeah,
and I was like, man, I need, because my dad, like, so, you go to Kroger right there on Garfield and by the underpass. Kroger's was right there. You get everything. You get groceries and clothes in the store.
yeah,
And they had those buddies. They had the buddies with the pen. You come on the clothespin. You get your pair of them for
yeah,
$2. You know what I'm saying? And you did that thing.
yeah.
But my dad, I was like, man, I want to, Dad, I want a pair of those Chuck Taylors. So he said, look, here's 50 cents. Get the gas can, get the lawnmower. They got some oil in there. Make sure you check the oil in the lawnmower. Walk down the street, knock on some doors, and mow lawns until you get the money. You know what I'm saying? So, through the calculations, I needed to, to mow at least 8 yards, so I'd have the $12.95 plus the
Yeah.
tax. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? And I can get them Chuck Taylors. And
Yeah.
I did that. You know what I'm saying? It took me a couple of days during the summer. I did that, saved the money.
Mm-hmm.
Was able to go to Bell's with my own money. And spend it. So that was one lesson that my dad taught me. About money and being responsible and whatnot, and my mother too, man. Uh, you know, you know, her, being a mom, being a working mom, being a wife, and all of that, man. Having that in the house, not saying that it was all hunky dory and peaceful at all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But the family unit, was a whole lot different. And I don't know about anybody else, but I know that I appreciated, my father being there, my mother being there, the extended family, in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying, watching out, because uh the lady down the street, she could hear you cursing. Y'all could, like they do now, she could hear you cursing on the corner, and she calling your mama and or whatever, and telling,
Man, it's
that,
going down.
yeah, oh, what? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, done experienced that, and
We gotta get I, I don't know how, but we gotta get back to that.
yeah, number one, you got to get the government out of your personal issues. You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying? You have to stop, following the, or not, without being defiant, but you got to vote people in who are going
Hmm.
to legislate, for things that support you as a parent, not take away your rights. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? To raise your child.
yeah,
Because children now, as opposed to when I was a kid or you was a kid, these kids are not afraid of the daddy or the mama or anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do the things that's necessary for them to survive. You
man.
know.
I'm 40. I'm 40 years old. If my
Hmm.
mom or my daddy come out their grave right now and tell me shut up,
Oh,
I'm
shut
not.
up.
I'm not talking. I don't care
Yeah,
who tell me. I don't care who tell me to talk.
yeah,
I'm not talking. And I look. At a, I'm gonna stand at attention and everything for my daddy.
yeah, yeah.
And and
My and like Chris, man, look, bro, my dad had been passed like 5, 6 years, bro, and I was in my 40s. and I would come home. I'd come home sometimes, for drive here from Atlanta and come home and you know probably be out. Back then the moon was hot. So
Yeah,
I'd go to the
yeah.
moon and come home. Come here at 2 o'clock in the morning. My dad had passed, but I was still fearful of coming in the house that late, man. Yeah,
Respect, man.
I'm saying I was still, I would
Respect,
still feel,
man.
I would still feel that, and like now, sometimes as a musician, I have some late nights sometimes, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But then, to go home, be on my way home and to, see little one, not more than 12 or 13 years old on the block, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? When you gonna get your sleep, man? You ain't,
Yeah.
but a different world.
Look, a totally different world. But now there's one thing I can say. Man, I still believe in us, bro.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still I still believe in us. Black American Heritage Parade that
Uh-huh.
was that with us coming out and supporting that parade with no violence,
Uh-huh.
no killings. That was beautiful.
Right, right.
Us showing Karen Crow, Mardi Gras Association, that the same way y'all want to respect, y'all gonna respect us.
Right. And I'm gonna speak to that. If you
Uh-huh.
don't, you see those places that gave difficulty uh, because the those of the African American communities wanted to participate in those parades, and so they changed the demographics. They changed the
Uh-huh.
parade. They shortened it. They made it extremely hard for those that wanted to participate. Well, this is what I have to say to that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm speaking to I'm speaking to the brothers and sisters. I'm speaking to Black people. I'm speaking to African Americans. Don't go into places where you're not wanted. You know what I'm saying? Where if you're not welcome in that place, then don't try to force your way in there. You take you and your beautiful Black self and you go congregate with your brothers and sisters in the most peaceful manner that you can, and you can party until the cows come home. When you spend your money amongst yourself, and when you support each other in the most positive way, great things are gonna happen. You see, they destroyed Wall Street because of Black wealth. And Black wealth is Black power because you
Uh-huh.
can't do nothing without money. You understand? So when you take your dollars and you take them to Youngsville and to Scott and to Karen Crow, and you spend even in Lafayette with the Lafayette Mardi Gras Association, when you spend your money over there at Cajun Field, that money is not coming back into your community. But when you spend with that t-shirt company that's Black owned, when you spend with that catering company that's Black owned, then that money stays amongst us. And it's important for us to support us. Don't fight and be upset because they don't want you there. You have a better party anyway.
Hey,
Come here.
look,
Uh-huh.
Herb, man, that was so beautiful, man. Man, that was so us coming together was so beautiful. Man, look, listen, I'm talking about Herb. I was actually in tears, man. I
Uh-huh.
was because I prayed, I seen this and everything. And look, I feel that that's just the beginning, man. That's just the beginning of us coming together. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I
And
even heard they had a few incidents where a few people started fighting or a few people started fussing and everybody, hey, I don't do that. Nah, hey, look, y'all stop that. And look,
yeah,
that's what we gotta start doing because
that's what it
if
yeah.
Herb see me doing something wrong and Herb don't tell me, hey Chris, come see me, let me holler at you. and pull me to the side and tell me, Chris, come on, man, that's wrong. Don't do that. Herb not a friend.
No,
A true friend gonna tell me, Chris, come on, man, get your stuff together, man. That ain't right.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, and your enemy is gonna see you get in trouble.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Your enemy, who disguises himself as your friend, is gonna watch you get in trouble,
Yes.
and you might go down deep. You know what I'm saying? And when the people give you that time, first off, he ain't come and see you in the parish jail.
No.
He ain't come and see you in the state prison. You know
No.
what I'm saying? He ain't sending no money to put on your books. He ain't going by your mama to check to see how you doing if you need anything. But you find him as your boy.
And
It's not your
he
boy,
go
man.
and he go and check and make sure your girlfriend all right.
Shit, yeah. His name is Jody.
Yes.
You know, his name is Jody. And I'm laughing about it, man. But we have too many, that are talented
I agree.
and could be, contributing positively to their communities, be it here in Macomb, Fruited Town, the Zip,
Uh-huh.
Truman. You know what I'm saying? Man, we got talented people all over North Lafayette. And the reason why I know that
Yes.
is because I deal with a lot of their kids. You know what I'm saying? And I have my little, group, but I'm also a teaching artist through the Acadiana Center for the Arts. And I go to a lot of elementary and middle schools in Lafayette and St. Landry Parish. And man, we have a wealth of talent. We have some Grammy potentials. We have some Emmy Award potentials. We definitely have some dance and hip hop and all of that potentials out there. But we have to create a platform, you know what I'm saying, to, for them to be able to showcase their talents.
Yes.
And what I talked to some, I was offered a venue to do something for our kids, and I just don't want to do it for Poochie Percussion, but I want to do it for kids across the North Lafayette area.
Uh-huh.
And because they are the future, but if they distracted by negativity and they fighting because that's the examples that we giving them as adults, you know what I'm saying, then what hope do we have?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for people to partner with me, uh to start an initiative to where we have a series of auditions in different categories. It could be singing, it could be playing a musical instrument, it could be poetry, it
Uh-huh.
could be anything, anything that shows talent. It could be in the sciences, it can be, it doesn't have to just be entertainment. But I want to be able to start um, an initiative to support the talents of young Black uh, kids in the North Lafayette area. And one way I want to do that is I want to start a talent search through maybe a series of little shows, and where they get to come and compete against other people in in different categories.
Yeah.
And it could be singing, dance or whatever. And maybe do like 9, well 10, and and then have a semifinal, a final, and an eventual winner. And they'll win they'll have the chance to win in their categories, but then there'll also be an overall winner. And the overall winner, I want to try to provide a scholarship of some sorts for them to pursue whatever it is that they're interested in. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
we need to get together and make that happen, man.
Yeah, yeah. You see, as adults, man, we so distracted by those frivolous things, you know what I'm saying? And we really did, we have to take responsibility for not listening to our children. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases, the child is doing what they do because nobody is hearing them. No, or at least they feel that way. And we just have to provide, leadership across the board. You know what I'm saying? We have to
yeah,
hold, as people, we got to hold our elected officials accountable and,
uh-huh,
and go to them and tell them what the need is. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because, and then, as far as the populace of the people, we have, like I said, we have talented, smart people here in North Lafayette.
I agree.
And, when we get together, when we come together, for the candlelight vigils or, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Um, we need to control, we got to hold ourselves accountable.
Mm-hmm.
What am I doing? You know what I'm saying? Because it's too late to complain after he's dead.
It's too late.
It's too late to do anything for him when he's laying in the morgue and he froze.
And and
You know
and,
what
and
I'm saying?
uh, the hardest lesson that I learned through losing somebody is that life don't stop when somebody passes away.
Oh no. Oh no. You see, because pain comes in many different forms, right?
Uh-huh.
You
Uh-huh.
know what I'm saying? But we always trying to get past pain. So
Uh-huh.
people are going to do whatever's necessary for them to not feel that pain anymore. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Now, the death of a loved one in this natural form, it hurts, but it's something that we expecting. You know what I'm saying? But when it happens, um, in those tragic ways, man, you're sitting across from somebody or you're walking by past somebody and you just take their life for nothing. You done took that life, but then you done damaged the life of so many other people,
Yeah.
on his side of the family, but then also on your side of the family too, because everybody is a victim. Everybody,
And that's
everybody becomes a victim.
yes, yes. Put it, and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. And then if anybody want to ask a question about what we talking about or anything, y'all can go ahead on and ask the question. When you say that about everybody becomes a victim, that is so true. I'm talking about so true. I've been an activist against gun violence. Uh I have one of my nephews accidentally shot himself.
Mhm.
Another one of my nephews was murdered, and my brother was murdered. Before any one of those happened, I was an activist against gun violence for probably like about 6 years. And that pain is so unbearable.
Uh-huh.
And you never forget it. I'm talking about you never forget it.
Mhm.
So I know pain. I know that pain, and when I see somebody going through that pain, man, that's a
Mhm.
numbing pain, man. That's a pain that you,
Uh,
like I said, you
hey, just a little bit more about my backstory.
uh-huh,
Man, about 1991, 92. It happened in the natural way, you know what I'm saying? But I lost my baby. You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh,
I was in the military, I was married, and whatnot, and we got
uh-huh,
pregnant, and uh, you know, about maybe 6 months in or
uh-huh,
whatever, everything was moving along. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden she got sick and and miscarried. You know what I'm saying? And man, the devastation. You know what I'm saying? to have the baby delivered. You see them, they look like you know, and everything, and the life is just not there. And then a couple of days later, the military made, you know, we had to take care of those funerals arrangements. So, you know, at you know, a very young age, I had to walk into a graveyard and put my child in the ground. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that, you know, it hurt me and it devastated me for a long time. And for a long time I was angry. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
And got on the self-destructive path. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
whatnot. Until one day I was like, God, why my child? And he said, Herb, that wasn't your child to
it was
begin
my
with.
child.
You know what I'm saying? That was my kid. You know, so you
Woo-hoo.
know,
Hey,
and
look,
he had
if my wife listen still on the show right now, my wife just look, she just called a chill. I promise you, she did, because that's what she said all the time.
yeah, you know, and I had to go forward, Chris. And
Yeah.
you know, and Pooch Percussion, you know, is here in Lafayette, but it really got started in Atlanta
Uh-huh.
because that's where I got my answer. That's where I got my calling. You know, I had been in my craft for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? And when that happened, man, I started meeting, you know, people that we listened to on the radio. I met, you know, I started meeting people, you know, Larry Brackman from Cameo. I started meeting members from the band Brick, the SOS band, you
Yeah.
know, and performing with them. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey, look, my
uh-huh,
all of those people that you're naming, my
uh-huh,
brother, man, my brother Clifton, you probably remember Clifton Zeno.
uh-huh,
I'm talking about, he made sure that I listened to that music.
uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
this is what he told me about Maze, and I seen Frankie Beverly about to retire.
Mhm.
This is what he told me. He said, if it's the last thing you do, I want you to make sure you go to a Frankie Beverly concert. You got to see him in concert. And
I
man,
have that.
I'm young. I'm talking, man. I'm young. You can ask this to my wife. I got an old head when it comes to all that music, like break, all of that. So when you saying that about, as you saying that, I'm paying attention, and I'm still going back to, man, that was some beautiful times, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
You
when
know,
love. That's when
mhm.
love was there, man. That's when true love was there.
The first one that really like embraced me, you know, through that time was Ollie Woodson. Ollie Woodson was a lead singer for the Temptations. And I was you know, I liked the song that he sang, Treat Her Like a Lady.
Uh huh.
And I happened to be working as a cook in a piano bar in College Park, Georgia.
Uh huh.
And man, but the owner of the place, Ollie Woodson, was his daughter's godfather. So he came in one evening, man, and I had some grilled salmon, yellow rice, and broccoli as a special.
Uh huh.
And he was like, man, give me that fish. And while I was cooking this fish, man, he stood there and started talking to me and telling me about the business and, you know, and whatnot. And every time he would come to do a show, I would cook for him. Him, Sir Charles. Sir Charles was crazy about my chicken wings.
Yeah.
But you know, and you know, I'm happy to see Roy Chip did something with him. You know,
Man,
because
that Roy Chip a bad man, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah, shout out
but
to
you
Roy
know,
Chip, man. Shout out to Roy Chip.
and you know, but Sir Charles, them man, you know, Bobby Bland, Bobby Rush. I didn't know he was from Lafayette, you know, from Morgan City.
Uh-huh.
And but they, you know, the love that they showed and the brotherhood, man, you know, that, you know, it just, you know, another thing that just, you know, that came as a result of just wanting to be a good person, you know, and the opportunities that that came, you know, from staying positive and forgiving myself for being mad, you know.
Uh-huh.
And you know, because I asked God, you know, like I said, I asked God, why my child? And he said, Herb, that wasn't your child to begin with. And he said, I took those to give you all of these, and you're gonna see. You know what I'm saying? And I, you know, from Atlanta to here, uh, you know, with here being the, you know, I have more here, but there's at
What
least
made you
25.
what made you come back?
I wanted to be home, you know, really and truly. I wanted to be home. I wanted to get married again, and I did. And you know, unfortunately, that kind of went to the wayside. And you know, it's just a, you know, they say that in life, man, if you don't go through anything, then you're really not living. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So, you know, I don't hate her, man. I still love her. You know, I care deeply about her, and I want the best for her. And you know, and that's the only way, to move forward, man. You know, just man up and say, hey, man, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just move forward. You know, you don't have to hold no grudge or anything like that. But you know, just pay attention to the rocks in the road. You know what I'm saying? And see where
yeah,
to step next time.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and through that, it's been good. Life has been good. Like you said earlier, you know, I'm not perfect, but
uh-huh.
I'm human. You know what I'm
I'm you.
saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm human. I'm human, and I'm subject to being wrong about some things. I'm gonna be wrong more often than than I'm right. You know,
yeah,
because I don't mind living, and I don't mind trying. You know,
yeah,
and when I fail, I'm not too big to where I can't say I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too big to come and say I was wrong. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Anything like that, because that's growth. You know what I mean? And because so many people uh get held back, or they hold themselves back because they don't want to let go.
yeah.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
I always say this. I always say this. I had a conversation with a gentleman that I see this to today, and I always say it. Me and you can be doing the same thing, Herb, but I'm
Uh-huh.
not. I'm gonna study how you do it. I'm not gonna try to do it better than you. I'm only gonna try to do it better than my last job.
Yeah.
Because if
You
I
know,
study on how to, I can't do you. I'm never gonna be able to do you.
no, no,
But if I
no.
keep on better in my last job and better in my last job, things gonna get better and better and better for me.
Hey, when I started ironing, when I started ironing my clothes, uh,
With
I had,
that stay flow starts,
yeah, hey, look, I didn't know that. I used to use that faultless
flour
back
and water.
then. Yeah, no flour in water sometime, but I would use that faultless. And
Okay.
I didn't know what I was doing. I would see my mom and them doing that, man, until I got to the military. You know what I'm saying? And they used to be starched down, and and you do what you're supposed to do,
Yeah,
and to get ready. And
yeah,
shoot, I would never, I did push-ups until I got it right. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
yeah,
I got
yeah,
that
yeah.
pace right. You can't get me to iron nothing no more. I don't even want
No,
to see you iron. You know what I'm saying? Send it
man,
to the
listen,
cleaners.
bro. Listen. Every night I used to iron and get ready. Every night, man. Couldn't tell me nothing, man. I'm going to school, man. I'm going to get ready, man. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
Uh the
Yeah.
kids, the kids, I see every time I see you, Herb,
Mm-hmm.
even in the Unity video, when I seen you I just watched that video the other day again recently. And I saw when I got to the clipping I'm talking about, I could have see the readiness in your kid's face.
You
And
know, that group right there, when we did that Unity video,
uh-huh.
that group right there, man, uh most of them have either graduated high school or they're juniors and sophomores right now.
Oh, Bell.
Man, look, and the beautiful thing is when I see them out and about, and I'm like, man, what you up to? I'm in school. I'm in, I'm working, and whatnot, man. And it just, just to have them out there trying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And they know where they can come, for safety because there was an incident in Hyman Park, which is a block away from my house. And they had there was a lot of shooting going on and whatnot,
uh-huh,
and people were flooding into my neighborhood.
uh-huh.
But the grandmother and the mama, they came to my house. They because they knew they were gonna probably run, this way. If
Yeah,
they had to get away, they was
yeah,
gonna come, they was gonna come to my house. And
uh-huh.
and that's what I want kids to believe,
But that's
that
big. That's big. Yeah,
they have somewhere, because that's another thing my dad told me. Hey man, when stuff pop off, you better know where to get away from. Find that route to get away. You know what I'm saying? And get yourself to safety. You know what I'm saying? I witnessed people um, uh, succumb to the violence, that's out there. You know what I'm saying? Because they got trapped, and they were innocent. They had nothing to do with it, but they got caught in the crossfire. And
Herb. Sometimes, Herb,
uh-huh.
it's two things. Sometimes we create our own ghetto.
Yeah,
I I have been guilty of that. Definitely 100%. Other times, Herb, we have been shown the wrong way. They showed us things the wrong way.
yeah, yeah,
And we believe that it's right because what we have seen that too many times.
yeah.
So we believe that it's right.
And
And
it's all about what you're exposed to, man. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And what see, um there was just one of my little students who I'm partial to, uh in a big way. And I love the little guy like he's my child. He's 4 years old, and I've had him for about 2 years. And he's playing 9 different instruments right now, at 4 years old. And he's playing them proficiently. I mean, you'll know that he know when you see him perform, you're gonna say he know what he's doing. And so I have him with me a lot of times. And he goes to school. He's in pre-K right now. And uh I I go some days I get to go get him from school. And there was an educator, who was constantly saying that, oh, he's bad. He had a bad day. He's bad. And I would hear that. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him and whatnot. And before when I drop him to school, I'm like, hey man, have a good day. And he's like, okay. And and he proceed on, like a little boy would, and whatnot. And pick him up that afternoon, and he's excited to see me. And the teacher and the two assistants is, you know oh, he bad, oh, he's active, he's too active and stuff like that. So I said, okay, well, all right, he needs more supervision. Y'all need to watch, and redirect him at the times where y'all think that he's going off, because he's only 4 years old, and you have to understand that he's a little boy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And so the other day, I got a call from his aunt stating that the school called her I had just dropped him that morning, and mind you, I wanted to keep him home, with me because I had some stuff to do that day, and I would
Uh-huh.
have been late getting him that afternoon.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, they called the aunt and said that another child had bitten him in his face. So right then, I'm like, I'm not mad at the child. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad at the adults because it's three adults that sit in that classroom.
Uh-huh.
I'm mad at the adults because where's the supervision?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? There's not even 15 kids in the classroom. You know what I'm saying? And between three adults that's supposed to be intelligent, that is supposed to be vigilant,
Mhm.
that is supposed to be paying attention to what's going on with these kids. See, because if you don't pay attention to what those kids are doing and positively redirect them when they do wrong, then you open up the door for them to try other things.
True story.
So when that happened, I had to tell the aunt, can y'all go get him? Because if I go get him,
Yeah.
you understand, because if and I'm not going over there to be a bully and brutish and threatening and all of that, man. I'm going over there to find out just one question. Where were y'all?
Uh-huh.
Who was watching? Because they told the mom asked, well, what happened? I don't know. That is not an excuse. That is not, you don't get a pass for not knowing when you know that I know that you should have known that you should have been paying attention to what's going on with those kids in
Mm-hmm.
that classroom.
Yeah.
And
And look, we that's all it all comes back to we gotta get back to love.
yeah, yeah,
Loving our job, loving what we do, loving the kids. We got to get back to love, bro. Look, love conquers all.
yeah. Because if without it, uh, we have an immense amount of love, right now.
Yeah,
Because if we didn't, Chris, then things would be a far lot worse than they are because we'd be fighting amongst ourselves, and
yeah,
then there would be a civil war going on. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
But there's a war within us. You know what I'm saying? Within our community. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a physical war. It's a psychological war. It's a
yes,
war of people wanting to be in power who shouldn't be in power. It's a war, against, between people who want to lead and those who saying, no, you can't lead me. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not qualified. You know what
uh-huh.
I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. I'm not, I have to be, and I have to work with what I have. So I have to love me,
Yeah.
enough to continue to do the work that I do, and I have to love them enough to leave them alone.
So, what you think right now? Right now, if you had any say so on us moving forward as a whole for the better the community,
Uh,
what you think we need?
First, we need a plan. You know what I'm saying? Because look, the acknowledgement is already there. We
We
have a
got a
problem.
problem. We
We
got a
have a problem.
problem. Yeah,
Everybody been saying we have a problem. The
yeah,
next thing that they say, man, we need to do something about this group. We need to do something about that group. But then when it comes time to do something, you know what I'm saying? Look, every good leader was a good follower at one time. You understand? So you have to if you're a leader and you were a good follower, then you have to teach the people how to follow your lead.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But then you can't get people to follow you on empty promises. you can't get people. People are tired of that. We
Yeah,
done had too many people come up and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that," but then when they get in a position to do it, they compromise.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? The first thing we gotta have a plan, and then we have to have the right leadership to lead us with that plan. And they are good leaders in Lafayette, but the ones who have been leading need to get out of the way. And I say that, unapologetically. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? And like nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
But we've been trying it y'all way for the longest time, and it ain't been working.
Yeah,
And I'm not
yeah.
talking about the grassroots people. I'm
Uh-huh.
talking about people that's in those positions.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about people that's in those real-time leadership positions that claim to represent us. You ain't represented nothing
Yeah.
because we still in the same hole.
We got to get
You
out
know
that
what I'm
hole.
saying? Yeah,
It-
we still in that same hole. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? And until we get leadership that take responsibility, for leading and be transparent and upfront with the people, you know what I'm saying? Then we gonna forever be in that cycle, man, where uh we they say they're gonna do something, but nothing gets done. We get promised things, but nothing get. There's no reason. And I'm all over the place tonight, but
Ah,
there's
you
no
good.
reason
You good.
there's no reason that Brown Park should be looking like it's looking.
No, no. I asked that
Not at
question.
all.
What happened with the funding? And shout out to Kenneth Boudreaux, man, because he returned my call and he really broke it down to me.
You can't
Uh,
spend money that's not there. You
no.
can't. You can't spend a lie.
Okay, now look, I don't like to say people name, but I'm gonna just say the person that said the 36 million was gonna be spent. That person there, that was only a start to get reelected,
Uh huh. Yeah, and it wasn't there.
and it
It
wasn't
was
there.
a political ploy. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And because and that's another charge that I have to charge out us with is, man, do your research. When people tell you something, prove it. You know what I'm saying? That what God tell you, my
study the stuff
prove
that's never
prove
proved.
my word.
Yeah,
Prove
yeah,
it. Prove. Like study it to show. Study to show yourself. Prove. But
yeah.
then test my word. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? And like when somebody tell you something, man, just don't take it for face value, man. You go deep into that, man. Where you gonna get that money from? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? How long it's gonna take for it to get here? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because we got people that need jobs. You know what I'm saying? But then when you look, you know what I'm saying, and there's only uh two or three people that's making money of that $36 million, and then at the end of the day, you find out that they didn't have $36 million, and the money that they did have is in somebody's pocket,
yeah.
and the facilities is not developed. You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? I think that personally, I think that's criminal.
I think so too, because for the simple fact, now here it is, right now that's putting a hold on uh a couple of the kids. Well, all the kids over there, they can't play baseball,
Yeah.
and you know what they say about an idle mind.
Hey, you know,
Yeah.
and hey, bro, I remember being in a city council meeting when they were, closing the parks down.
Uh-huh.
And I told Josh Guillory to his face. I call his name. I don't care. I told him to his face, closing them parks down, you're calling something into play that you really don't want to deal with. And
No.
the fortunate thing is they voted him out. I think that Monique uh, Blanco Boule, some people don't like her or whatever, but I
Uh-huh.
think everybody deserves a chance. You
Everybody
know,
deserves a chance.
uh, you
And
know, I.
look, I don't care what color help come in.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
If she gonna do the right thing, I'm not worried about no color. We only thing we need is for her to do the right thing.
Yep, yep. And I, I think she's candid and transparent. I think that if she, if you confront her with something, I think that she's going to give you an honest response and and whatnot. I've
Yeah,
spoken to her. She's approached me about what she can do to enhance programs like mine and the quality of life on the north side and whatnot. And I think that she's sincere, and because man, I really don't like dealing with politics and whatnot, and because it has no place when it comes to the well-being of people. There's some things that's going to come down this summer that we need to be prepared for. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because a lot of kids with the food programming, uh, a lot of kids, they're not going to get proper nourishment through in the times that they're not in school. So we have to be proactive about that, and making sure that people in our impoverished communities get the subsistence that they need, just for them to stay healthy. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because kids don't get the proper vegetables and things like that, man. It weakens their immune system. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it's the people in leadership positions, they have to, we gonna have to do something if Jeff Landry, passes that and this thing gets kicked down. We gonna have to do something. If we got to do it by neighborhood, just set up things in neighborhoods where kids
Yeah,
can walk by and at least get a hot dog and some chips. You know what I'm saying? And because some chili or something like that we could that could be stretched is gonna have to happen, man. Because what they don't understand, Chris, man, they want to do all of this criminal justice reform and stuff like that, and I'm for I'm for making things better, but then you also you're doing things that are gonna make the problem worse. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Because if you cut the food out, crime gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? That crime, it will go up because people gonna want to feed their children.
If I'm
And
hungry, if I'm hungry and my family hungry, I gotta go get it.
oh yeah, I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Even, it's hard to say. Even if I gotta go sit in the middle of the soup for one and eat me a chicken, I
I
have
gotta go get
you
it.
have them you have them those rotisserie chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'll go sit down and eat me a whole meal and then really wait
Yeah,
for the police to come.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then when I go to jail, I'm gonna still eat.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like, crime is born out of desperation, man. You know what I'm saying? And people all they want to do is survive,
Yeah,
and enjoy. I think that they have more people who get in trouble who wanted to have that job. You know what I'm saying?
I
Who,
agree.
who wanted to be doing something, worthwhile. But, a lot of us, a lot of us is not as resilient as the others and able to bounce back and reinvent themselves. A lot of people, get on hard times and they get desperate, man. So they're going to
Yeah,
do whatever's conducive, in order for them to survive and provide, man.
man. Man, we 13 minutes past our time.
Okay, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I gotta go prepare for tomorrow, and man, we got to do this again, and I'm gonna definitely be
definitely.
reaching out to you, about this initiative with our talented kids and whatnot, and
Okay,
putting that together. And
man. Let's do this, man. Man. Look, that post earlier when I went on Facebook and I like I'm driving and I saw that post. I'm not supposed to be driving looking on Facebook, but I'm driving and look, the car just got quiet because
wow,
I don't look for stuff like that. But when somebody know where I come from, what I went through, and everything, say something like that about me,
Yeah.
it's like the mirror is getting put in front of me. And we know that mirror is a bad boy, man.
Mm-hmm.
The mirror the mirror gets put in front of me, and I see, man, I gotta keep on going, man.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I have them moments too. You know what I'm saying? And you know, if we don't motivate and inspire one another, bro, we ain't doing nothing, man.
Yeah,
So you
man,
know, all of that's that was my aim, man, is to keep you motivated, bro, and let you know that you're not by yourself. That you know the things that you have done and that you are doing, they are worthwhile. Keep doing them, man. You know, from the perspective that you're doing them from, man.
definitely.
Allow yourself to grow, and you know all of those naysayers on the side, bro, they irrelevant, man. You know what I'm saying? Because look at all that time, Chris. You know, just me and you know what I'm saying? That
Uh-huh.
I when I got here, I think it was like 2013. So
Yeah,
that's 11 years ago. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So um, I seen a lot of people come up. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people came up to the mic and la 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 la, and and
uh-huh.
this and that and blah 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 blah, and they ain't and now we need them more than ever.
And
You know
then
what I'm
that,
saying? We need them more than ever. We need them more. I always tell people, more than anything, that if you say you're a leader, they need your presence.
yeah,
They need to hear your voice. They need to hear you say, "Hey man, look, let's get together in the park," or "Hey man, let's have a adult prom." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
let,
yeah,
let, let you know let's get together. That's the main thing. How we get together, that don't matter either. As long
yeah,
as if we get together, if we
yeah.
all get in the same place, we can all get the message at the same time.
All get the message at the same time.
So ain't nobody, so ain't nobody got no excuses to say I didn't get the message. Well, you wasn't
Exactly.
there
You
because
wasn't there.
you
Yeah,
know
that's why you didn't get the message. Yeah. But look,
now.
man, Herb, man, it was good having you, man. Hey, bro, look, man, this definitely is your first time, but it's definitely not your last time
Hey
coming on the
man,
show, man.
hey bro, anytime, man,
And
anytime.
look, I kind of wanted this show to be different. I kind of wanted to put it where I didn't ask too many questions, and I just wanted us to run it like we was doing backstage. You know what I'm saying? And man,
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Herb, man, and let them know how they can sign up their kids for Poochie Percussion.
Oh, they could definitely come sign up for Pooch Percussion at Park Village, and it's located at 2323 Moss Street. It's the old Platinum Cuts building. It used to be yellow, now it's black. Black on the outside, black on the inside.
Yeah,
It's about the culture. It's about community development. It's about growth. And but more than anything, it's about esteeming young boys and girls to seek out their talents, whatever they might be, and then just use the platform there to showcase it. You could reach me at 337-443-3432.
y'all. This is another episode of the Dream Chasers podcast show. Y'all, Poochie Percussion. Y'all, look, he gave y'all the number, man. Look, he definitely will be back, y'all. Good night, y'all.
Good night.